What's up, guys? Bullfire the Fell-Handed here, bringing you the Art of the Leo Part 9. Here we are on airfield. The greens occupy the left spawn. The reds occupy the eastern spawn. Western and eastern, sorry. Typically, what I like to do in the Leopard 1 on this board is hit the area H5. Just roll back and forth, seeing what I can light up, seeing if I can get anything done. Possibly the guys rolling the middle can get some shots off near their cap if I detect anything. And the idea here is, much like all the other mediums, you want to stay alive as long as possible. You don't want to take anything risky. You don't want to take any risky shots. You want to play very cautiously, be very easy. Don't push too far. You need to know the right time to push with this tank. And it's not like a lot of the other tanks. It's very crunchy, very armored. You can wade into the thick of it and you may be okay. This tank is very, very soft-skinned, and it's very mobile. It's a very mobile tank. You could circle jerk guys very well with this tank. You just have to be very cautious. It gets racked easy. It's a very sensitive tank. So we have a couple of TDs here, and we're trying to put fire in their location. Now, luckily, you would have seen a different bullseye if there was artillery on this map. I wouldn't have stayed in this area so much. I wouldn't have presented myself so much, because a good artillery player can change everything. Just gas double D. So you need to watch out for those good artillery players, and eventually at some point you will start to recognize them. When you start to recognize the good artillery players, you'll know you need to be extremely cautious. You need to spend more time repositioning than shooting, really, in order to keep yourself safe. Now, as you see on the map, we are more or less exactly where we need to be. We have guys on the left, we have guys on the right, we have guys in the mid. Everything is more or less where it needs to be. I don't know how effective the TD at D2 is going to be. I don't really know much about TDs. I do know that, the max rendering distance is like 650, 700 meters. So I know past that you're not going to be getting any shots. I do, however, know about myself. Not a lot of people are putting rounds /any on the target time spotting. And that's one of the things you're going to have to get used to with the Leo. People are either going to shoot the target you spot, or they are not in this case. There's not a lot you can do about it. Now, granted, if I were to pull up and scope a target, I would be exposing myself greatly. So you have to just be very, very cautious. You don't have the armored turret, or the 140, or the 62, or the 430, or the 50M. You don't have that. You have a very thin-skinned turret. You actually have more armor on the back of the turret. I don't know why. Maybe when you get ammo racked, that little chunk of armor can fly off and do more damage. I don't know. Now, like I said previously in my other videos, if you're not being effective somewhere, leave. That's exactly what we're doing. We are leaving. We're not being effective in that area. We are moving on. Take a round from the 45 Bravo. Give him one in return. Try not to give any freebies. Nobody gets a free go at this. Don't be one of those guys that drowned yourself in this tank if you're the last one left alive. You need to go out with a gun that's just hot and empty. That's what you're working on. So ideally, what I am trying to do here is wait for the Tiger to fire, and I'm going to pull up and I'm going to put one in him. And the reason this is kind of risky business is I have amazing gun depression because that hill is so sloped. I have to pull almost completely over the hill. As you saw, I could almost scope him. Now right here, I decide to go ahead and put a round in his tracks, which he immediately fixes just in order to shoot me. And of course, he's going to take one in return. That was kind of a foolish idea on him, even though he probably gave me more damage than I gave him. Looks like he's attempting to ram me. Good luck with that. It's extremely hard to ram, a very mobile, fast tank like this. So there's not a lot you can do in that case, especially with a TD. So, if you look at the map, things are starting to break up a little bit for our team. The greens are a little broke up. Not a lot going on. You know, we've kind of scattered while the reds are mainly consolidating their position. There's not too much we can do about that. You know, it may just boil down to straight getting out tanked. But we are trying to hold on to what we have right now. And, you know, still, I'm thinking of my job. I need to get up here. I need to spot targets. I need to get things going. You know, I need to help the team start getting more shots on target. Granted, a lot of our team is not in good positions to get shots on target anymore. Now, situational awareness, I cannot say it enough. If you look at your tactical map, you should be glancing at this tactical map at least every couple of times a second, really. I mean, your eyes need to more or less be glued to this thing. As a medium driver, as a heavy driver, you know, if somebody comes up behind you, there's not really shit you can do about it because typically you're pushing a front. But as a medium driver, you need to be acutely aware of what is going on at all times around you. Now, you may not personally see it, it may not be in your field of vision, but it will show up on your tactical map. And that's where you need to really watch out. So we decided to put another round in the 50. We went ahead and changed our mind at the last minute. See, watch, right there at G4, a heavy just showed up, and as you could see, I immediately started to turn to react to the threat. That's how fast you need to react. As soon as it pops up, you need to start turning, getting the gun to bear, start having a plan of action on how you need to deal with this new threat. You need to do all these things within quarters of a second. I cannot stress this enough. You need to make sure you run the tactical map, and you need to have practice in looking at the tactical map. You need to know where things are at all times running a medium, the Leopard especially, because you don't want unknowns on the battlefield, because medium tanks are basically information gatherers. Guys, thank you for watching The Art of the Leo Part 9. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.